I don't know, embarrassing ex-partners. Hello my wonderful people and welcome back to another video. I sort of am trying to figure out what kind of background should I continue filming in. So should I go back to the bedroom, or should I maybe try and create like a background out of my handbag situation, or should I kind of continue filming here? I guess some of you might think that this background is a little bit distracting. The reason why I would really love to film in this room rather than in my bedroom is because I'm trying to separate like work and private life, and I want kind of all of my me time and relaxing time to take place in the bedroom, and I want all the work to take place in this room. So that is the reason I've been filming in this room, and I would love to hear your feedback whether or not you find this distracting. If you do, I might still be able to think of something else, or I might create, I know a lot of YouTubers also have like their kind of like handbags as their background, or nothing at all, or you know, I might just like figure something out. So let me know what you would like to see as a background in my videos. I wanted to kind of start the year with some of the Q&As because there are a lot of questions that I would like to answer, and I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys. So some of them are sort of like repeating, and I just wanted to be like, let's answer that because that's what you guys want. So I'm here to do that. If I'm looking on my phone, that's just because I am kind of trying to go and find the questions. So let's start. Question number one is, can you please share your New Year's resolutions with us? So there are many. Actually this year I took really nice kind of comfortable end of the year, and I managed to really reflect on 2019, create some of the personal goals for myself for 2020. And you know what, if you haven't done that yet, it's really not too late, but I think it's so essential and so important to sit down and write some of your own goals. I say if you write them down, they're much more likely to happen as well, and it's scientifically proven. Actually, it's not just something that I'm making up now for no reason. It's a well-known fact. So if you write down in 2020, I would like to find a boyfriend, or I would like to buy a Chanel handbag, or I would like to buy my own first house, and if you write it down, you're more likely to achieve it than if you just say, oh, wouldn't it be nice? I'm saying sit down and write down the goals for you. For me, I have few New Year's resolution. First one is to have my back more straight. It's like a massive thing of mine. I have very weak back. I'm always slouching, and it's not even my back as much as it's my shoulders. I had a lot of skeletal problems when I was a teenager. I was seeing physio every single day. So imagine being like, not even a teen actually, I think I was maybe like 11 or 12. I was going to see a physiotherapist every single day, and it was very difficult for me because I have very weak back muscle. Most of my muscles are in my stomach and in my legs, so I hold my back with my stomach muscles, which is very unhealthy and it's really wrong. But even my neck, like everything is just beeped basically, and I honestly really need to stop that. It just needs to stop. Like I need to have more straight back. So this is the goal for 2020. One of you gave me a tip that it took you 3 months to straighten your back a little bit, to strengthen the back muscles, and I'm really hoping that I could do that as well. Goal number two is to really separate some of the work life and the private life, and to make sure that I have more time for myself so that I can take on hobbies and learning new languages. That's a massive goal for me, and not just for me but also for my team. They all know that we have kind of discussed it, and we're trying to find a way so that I can have a system of working which would allow me to have more free time, and subsequently I would take on a hobby. I would love to perhaps pursue my Spanish a little bit further, and yeah, that would be really nice. New Year's resolution number 3 would be to take a massive family trip, which means that my whole family goes on a trip, and I want to organize and pay for it and make it happen. I would love that to happen. It's just that, you know what, it's really difficult with everybody's holidays. I also like to create surprises for other people. So for example, I have a lot of friends who know that now, they kind of know that I'm gonna be the person organizing their birthday surprise party, because I love making surprises for other people. I just love that. Like, I often also show up at the airport and call my friends being like, I'm here. That's kind of the stuff I do. But it's impossible to do that when it comes to trips. because people need holidays, children are at school, you know, like it's little things like that that really need to be taken in consideration, but I want to find a way. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions, number 3. New Year's resolution number 4, to spend less money. Ha! Just kidding, that's not my New like, please, let's not even joke about that. I think those are kind of the main ones, like more family time, more, you know, like understanding when you work, when you don't work, and more straight back in 2020. I think those are kind of my main resolutions, what I wanted to do. I also had kind of little reflection on what were my 2018-19 resolutions, and I had one which was to swear less, and I do think I was swearing a lot less, only in Serbian. I don't really swear in English, but it's Serbian, it's kind of impossible not to swear because it's such a language. I think I kind of managed to do that. I would like to perhaps read at least 2 books a month. Shall we put that as well on the list? Let's do it, why not, you know? I like to read, so that's actually an easy one. Let's continue. What kind of camera do you use for most of your pictures? Thank you. If you're asking me about my Instagram pictures, I would say they're taking 50-50, depends on the light. I would either take them with a camera or with iPhone. I take a lot of pictures with iPhone, but not all of them. I still really enjoy the most taking pictures with my Leica camera. I use Leica Q and also still use my Canon 5D Mark IV. I love professional pictures, but then when I want a flash picture, I would use a flash as well. So it really depends on the light, on the opportunity, on the occasion, on what I'm shooting, and so many different things. So there's not really a rule. Best books in 2019, I would say Malcolm Gladwell, Talking to Strangers. I would say Unsexy Business, Harvard School of Business, Strategy. There are so many that I really enjoyed reading in 2019. It's very difficult to just kind of like now come up with a list, but perhaps it could be something that I could write a blog post on. So let me know if you would be interested in reading about that. How do you get such long lashes? I have actually filmed a whole video about that. Are they still long? I think they're still long. I use castor oil and Revitalash, and I really believe in that, like 1,000,000,000%. How do you prevent airlines sourcing your Louis Vuitton suitcase in the hold when flying low cost? When flying low cost, I always make sure that I am flying, for example, if it's EasyJet, I always make sure that I can have the hand luggage and the bag, and I make sure that I'm always there early on time at the gate so nothing happens. But I guess if really they want to put it, then I start like begging and almost crying and whatnot. And if they really are like demanding to put it in hold, then I just say that they have to make sure that they don't put anything on it because it's very fragile. I say this a million times and I'll say it one more. Things are to be used and people are to be loved, not the other way around. That is so important. So when you get that mentality, life gets much easier. Recommendation: where to eat in London. Oh my god, there's so many amazing restaurants in London. I love Isabel, I love Rocca. Oh, it's getting a bit bad lately. I love Hakkasan, I love Sushi Samba. There are so many places, like honestly I cannot even so it depends what you really like hipster place or a date night place or a bar, or you know, so it's quite difficult to say just one place. Which university would you choose today to go to if you had to? I guess I would love to study something related to graphic design. I'm not sure that I'm particularly talented when it comes to the topic, but I find that that would be very useful to what I'm doing now. And if not that, then French language, because French is always useful. My parents though think that studying a language is not particularly like useful thing in life at university, because you can just study a language on the side. But my parents have so many opinions, and I don't know, what do you guys think about that? How do you decide to get out of your comfort zone and take the risk for the first time? I think you just have to leap, you just have to go for it, and you say like, now. You know, I'm very much like that. So when I'm scared of something and I'm scared of something and I'm scared of something and I'm scared of something, then at one point, and I know I should be doing it, and then at one point I just say now, and after you say it, you have to do it, like now. You know, whether it's a breakup from a toxic relationship, whether it's a quitting a job, I've done that. Like I was kind of thinking about it for so long, and then one day I just said now, and in the middle of my shift I called my boss and I was like, I just want your address because I need to send a letter. And I knew that when those words come out, it's over. You cannot take it back. It's done. 3 skincare products that you cannot live without. I cannot live without, I really love the Clinique Take the Day Off cleansing oil, La Mer original creme, of course. From La Mer, I love the treatment lotion. It's so divine. I love that's already 3, but I also wanted to mention Summer Fridays vitamin C serum. I also love the retinols from SkinCeuticals. There's a lot of good stuff that I love. I also love the Chanel makeup remover for the lashes. There's so much I love, I'm sorry. I've written a whole blog post about my favorite skincare products, so you can read that if that helps. What to visit in Vienna? Any recommendations? I mean, like a Belvedere Museum to see some of the best Klimt work. I love Klimt. Klimt is one of my favorite artists. I would say visit Albertina Museum. It's incredible. Go to Sacher Hotel and try the Sacher cake. Have a look at the cathedral, like from outside. Go to Chanel and Hermes. And those are my top destinations in Vienna. Just kidding for the last 2. Or am I? What is the dark side of your job? I personally do not see dark sides of my job, but I'm someone who really always looks on the bright side. Like that's just in my personality, because I guess it's either because that's in my nature or because I'm not strong enough to face the darkness. So I like to see everything in a positive way. It's just I'm pretty sensitive person. Like you wouldn't even know how sensitive I am. That is not a weakness, that's just how I am. I'm like very emotional. However, I'm very confident and I know who I am. I'm aware of my flaws. I honestly like say, hey, these are my flaws, I accepted them and I'm living with them. This is it. Like, you know, I am 30-year-old, I'm a grown woman. I've been through so many different phases of life. I've been bullied in elementary school, and then I've been a cool girl hanging out with cool kids. And after you like see how it is being like a refugee from another country, coming to another country, being bullied, you never want to bully other people because you know how it feels. So I feel that I've been through so much, I felt so much on my skin that then I kind of learned what feels really horrible and like what's not really nice and what's really nice. I personally believe that it's important to go through a lot, and once I accepted who I am and I accepted everything about myself, I already spoke about this, but I knew that no one can hold that against me. If I say, hey, look, like, I don't know, I have very pointy chin. I've always had a very, well, I'll show you a picture of me as a child, should I? I don't know, it's not a very pretty picture. But I've always had this freaking chin, like, you know, what can I do with it? And you know what? No one can hold it against me. Wait, how do I show this without the ring light? We'll insert a picture of me as a child, as a baby. Always had this pointy chin, right? So people are now even saying like, hey, your chin is so ugly, or saying like, hey, you have a chin implant. And I'm like, hey, I own it. This is my chin. Like, it's pointy, it's there, but honestly, like, it does not bother me. I own it. I got it. I like it, I bought it, or mama gave it to me. That it's just something I got from my mama. So you just have to own who you are. Like I said, like past, I don't know, embarrassing ex-partners, jobs. I'm never embarrassed of anything I have done in my past, of the jobs, of the school, of the grades, of the friends, of I'm not embarrassed. It's all online, it's all there. There's people who know it and I own it. I'm like, I'm literally giving it to you all the time. Like what I used to look like, what I used to do, where I used to live, everything is public, kind of on public domain. So I think once you own it, no one can hold it against me. And if someone goes to me and shows like, hey, this is what you used to look like, or hey, this is where like what you used to do as a student, like working as giving away leaflets on the street, I would be like, yes, and I own it, and I'm so proud of it. Like, I'm so proud of it because I had grit in me, and because I knew that, for example, I could have lived off my daddy's credit card. My parents paid for my international student fees, which are extremely expensive, and my dad anyway gave me his credit card, which has unlimited, like, there's no limit on it. I could just like spend it as much as I wanted. I said to my dad after the first semester, I was like, I bought my books, I bought my bed, I settled, here's the card back, I'm going to make my money. Like, I'm gonna make money for myself. And I struggled. Like, there were times that I had £5 on my account, and I knew that I could have had all the money that my dad would give me, and I chose not to because I knew that I wouldn't be proud of myself at the end, and I knew that I felt very guilty spending somebody else's money. Not because I was like, oh my god, like I'm, you know, like I'm so good with money, not at all, but because I'm bad with money and I knew that it wasn't my money. How can someone work with you? We actually receive daily emails from people kind of sending CVs, and I keep them all on file. What's really important is that when someone comes to work with us is that they say what they could contribute to the team. So I get a lot of people being like, hey, are you hiring? Could you hire me? Like, hey, I also want to travel. It's not like about traveling. It's about, if you want to join the team, you have to contribute to the team, not to me, but to other employees that are already building something. So what could you do? Like, can you do amazing graphics? Can you like edit pictures really well? Can you do so? Like, we already have a video editor and we're not looking for a new one, but you know what I mean. Like, you need to always kind of say, what are you really good at? Are you like an amazing writer? Are you like really great at organizing itineraries and calendars and things? You just have to say what is it that you would do, because otherwise it's very difficult to me to say, hey, can you do this? In which language are you thinking? In both. It depends. Like, if I'm speaking to somebody in English, then I would think about this conversation and the story in English, and if it's Serbian, then I would think about it in Serbian. Could you please tell me how to get over a bad breakup? This is a really difficult question. It's also very individual. They say that it takes approximately, is it a third or a half of the relationship time to get over? Like, so for example, if you were in a relationship for 3 years, it would take a year and a half. I think that's way too long. Doesn't take that long, and I don't believe in that, because I was in two relationships 3 years each, and one took me a week to get over and the other one took me a year to get over. So it's really individual. However, I think it's important to have a good closure, and once it's over, that you know it's over. I never really had very bad breakups, but when someone kind of like seals it with me, when they do something really bad and I'm like, you're a toxic person, for me, I know it's done. What really helps with breakups, actually, I believe, is to keep a list of all the bad things about that person. So the moment you start reminiscing and saying like, oh, but it was so beautiful when we went on that holiday, oh, how nice was it when we went Christmas shopping together, remember that time when he gifted me that like little movie and we watched. No, you need to stop the reminiscing. It's in human nature to always look at the past through like pink sunglasses and to think only about the good things, but there are so many bad things and we always forget them. We choose to forget them. So I say, write them all down, write all the bad things, and anytime you start reminiscing, reread them. Reread all the bad things. It's over and it's time to get over him and get yourself out there, start socializing, be out, meet new people. I think things like that will definitely help. What would be your Patronus? My Patronus would be a fish, because I'm always like going with the flow. I'm easy to adjust to different environment, to different situation. It's very easy for me to kind of adjust to a change, to adapt, to kind of go with it, and I'm very chill. There's no stress vibes, there's no pressure vibes. Very chill, no judgments. Advice on handling people who complain a lot. Kind of tell them in a nice way, oh, like, you know what, I think that you complain a lot. I don't know what's the nice way to say that, but do you know what, when someone's complaining a lot, I try to tell them like, hey, do you know what, I think you should try and focus on the positives in your life. You have a roof above your head, you have hot water, you have food on the table, you have sometimes even like people who complain a lot have private jets. Yeah, and they still complain. So I would just kindly remind them of all the blessings of the family, of the children, that they're healthy, of so many things, or like even sometimes remind them of the stories. Like for example, my mom, she's often very, very, very scared that her mom will die one day, and it's a terrible reality, but she overwhelms herself with the thoughts sometimes. So I just remind her that instead of fearing, I'm sorry, my card was full, so I had to change for a new card, so I don't know if we run out of frame. I just wanted to say that whenever someone is scared in my surroundings, I like to remind them to be grateful instead. So like I said, when my mom is scared, and we're all scared and it's normal to be scared, but you should rather think like how grateful you are to have had somebody in your life rather than scared of losing them. It's kind of like two opposites. I think fear and gratitude are actually two opposites. So whenever I'm fearing something, I always think about how grateful I am to have something else. And honestly, gratitude is the most incredible feeling you can have. Once you start practicing being grateful for just little things, your life will completely transform. I can promise you that. That's just the truth. How often do you see your parents and do you miss them? I speak to them daily. I speak always to my parents like every single day, or if not every single day, when it's fashion week I don't speak to them every single day, but I know that then my life is crazy without even time to eat. But I do see them 4 or 5 times a year at least, and they're very important to me. A family is very important to me. So you know, also like having roots, knowing where I come from, knowing who I am, and being grounded is extremely important to both my parents and myself. Where did you learn to do your makeup? It's always perfect. Oh, thank you so much. I think it's far from perfect. I started experimenting with makeup when I was 14 and 15, and then I just watched a lot of YouTube tutorials. I honestly think watching YouTube really helps. This is a common misconception. Like when people asked about your lips, you always said that you have never had a job done. I really don't know like when. I even said that I had like my lips done in videos before, and I've even given you exact proofs. I never hid that I had lip fillers done. I just never wanted to show you how I get them done, where I get them done, talk about it and inspire people to get their lips done, because that's really not what I'm about. The only thing that sometimes annoys me when someone just makes up a whole thing and kind of uses it against me, but it's not even the truth, like it never happened, and then someone's like, but you said this, and I'm like, yeah, but I never ever even thought about that, like nevertheless said it. So what can you do? How do you prevent foundation from staining your colors during the season? I have so many tricks when getting dressed, you guys. Maybe I should film like a fashion hacks video, like top tips or hacks in like surviving, you know. Would you like me to film a video like that? Let me know. I have so many tips, especially Fashion Week has taught me so much. Someone's saying, question number 1, are you bisexual? And question number 2, are you older than your friend Noor or not? Thank you. Am I bisexual? Not that I know. Never went down that route. I guess maybe I give vibes, I don't know. That's actually very flattering to me. If I give bisexual vibes, I consider that as a massive compliment, because I like to be open to everything in life, and I just would like to be a very open person and not someone who's very extreme of anything. I personally am someone who was brought up in a multicultural surroundings, because I spoke about this before, but when war happened and my family managed to move to another country, they also kind of helped and saved their friends' children from the war, and it was like a multicultural. So under one roof we had Muslim, Catholic and Orthodox people living as one family. I come from Christian Orthodox family, and for me that didn't matter at all where you come from, who you are, if you're bisexual, homosexual, like none of that is important. And that's how I grew up. I was only 3 when I learned that there's different people under one roof, and I'm so grateful for that, because it's given me such a wide way of thinking. Like I'm so open-minded to everything, and I'm so grateful, so grateful to that. And if I'm older than Noor, no, I think Noor is actually older. Ha! You're welcome, Noor. Bye. Bye, Felicia. Actually, she's just a little bit older, but you know. You talked about you want to have lots of child, but you're 30 years old and single. Does this worry you? I guess I kind of understood the question. Yeah, so I definitely want a lot of children. I'm 30. Does it bother me? No. It doesn't actually bother me, not even a tiny little bit. Like, my sister had her first child after she was 30. She has 2 children now. I don't think that it's something that if you're 30 you should be worried about. I would love to have 3 children. That would be a goal. If I never have children in my life, am I gonna be unhappy? No, not gonna be unhappy, because happiness comes from me, from inside. Tamara, I'm the only person responsible for my happiness. I'm the only person responsible for having the smile on my face. Not a husband, not a girlfriend, not a whatever partner kind you want to have, not my family, not my children. No one is responsible for my happiness. Not having children or not having a partner or not having a like kind of whatever typical life is not gonna make me unhappy, because happiness comes from me, from inside here. And the only thing that's gonna make me unhappy is worrying, full stop. Worrying and fearing is gonna make me unhappy. So I choose happiness, and the only way to be happy is to accept who you are. That's the truth. And I honestly don't fear anything. Like, it's really strange. The only thing that I fear would be losing people that I really care about, but overall, I'm not someone who's fearful. I'm not someone who worries. I'm not a warrior. I'm a warrior. How come you film your nephews but not your sister? Because Stefan is dying to be in the camera. Like, so every time I pull a camera, he's like, let's make a vlog, let's video, let's film. When am I gonna be in your video? I want to be in your video. He wants to be on camera so much, it's ridiculous. And like, for example, he's gonna go to bed and he tells me, but tomorrow we can make a vlog. Can we vlog tomorrow? And then I'm like, oh my god, this child. But my sister, she's like, I do not want to be in your videos. You know what the thing is? Once you start showing in videos, and Stefan has actually witnessed this firsthand, people start recognizing you on the street even though you are like the side person of the channel. So Stefan was once in a shopping mall and someone came to him and said like, hi, I know you, you're Stefan, right? And he was like, this is really weird. And then they said, I know you, I follow your aunt on YouTube. And then he was very excited, but he didn't understand at first, like, who's this person. So this can happen, and my sister doesn't want this. Not that she doesn't want people approaching her, but she doesn't want people watching her from the side and knowing who she is, because she really loves her privacy. So I think like it's beautiful when people come and say hi. It's amazing. I stand there and I chat with you guys for as long as I can because I love it. But when people see you and they recognize you, but they don't want to say hi, but they just watch you aside judging, that's not so comfortable. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna finish this Q&A. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very much excited to film more for you guys. Can't wait to see you soon. I think the next one's going to be a handbag collection video. See you soon. Bye, guys.